Blessed be Spirit Fam. Welcome back to the channel, Serenity, Soul, Invictus. I want to talk about something that's very important today. Codependency. Ooh, that's a big word. Codependency. What is codependency? Codependency, of course, I'm sure you've all heard about this word. Okay, you all know what it is or should know what it is. It is, in fact, the need to have somebody in your life to complete you. It's as if, just like what I said in the previous video, you need that validation from someone. You need that company. You need that extra arm. You need this person to fulfill you, to make you whole. Codependency is toxic. And so we're going to get into this today. Thanks for watching. At any point, do give me a thumbs up, like, of course, subscribe to the channel. We interact here, so do hit the notification bell and do leave your feedback below on this important, most important topic. Now, in a lot of cases, the causes of codependency, there are many different reasons, many different factors. Some of us end up sliding into codependency without even realizing it. The most known causes of codependency, number one, I'm going to say person that's suffering from a lack of self-confidence. Low self-esteem is one of the big reasons, okay, why you would need another person to fulfill you, to complete you, to make you whole, okay? Like when people say your better half, no, it's not. He's my better other whole. Because you want him to be whole, sis. You don't want him to be half, and I'm not in half. Anyways, that's reason number one. Reason number two, you may have suffered from abandonment issues. Okay? You may have lost, like, maybe your first love, packed up and joined the military and moved like halfway around the world. And maybe you ended up in another relationship on the rebound, and 20 years later, here you are suffering in a codependent relationship. Just saying. Number three, maybe you're a person that had daddy issues. That's a form of abandonment, right? Maybe your daddy left. Maybe your daddy was never there to begin with. Maybe he was a deadbeat. Now, all is not lost. He may not stay a deadbeat. Of course, that's according to if you allow him to, if he wants to change and if you allow him to change. That's beside the point. The point is you had daddy issues. And so you needed a man to feel like, you know, loved. You needed that man to love you, to tell you he loves you. And so now in his absence, in your dad's absence, any man that comes along and says it will do. Like, oh my God, he loves me. He loves me. I love you too. When in fact you don't really love him. You love the idea of being in love with him. This is weird. Gets deeper. Number four. The fourth reason is you had a lack of planning. You did not plan out your life. You know, it was a romance that just like came along out of the wind and landed somewhere. You know, you didn't really know what you wanted. You didn't really say, okay, yes. Because a lot of us know we want a family. We want a relationship, a loving, wonderful, amazing relationship. But we don't sit down and envision exactly who the person is we want the relationship with. We just imagine ourselves cuddling on the pillow like we're like, oh my gosh, I love you so much. Who is this guy? I'm talking to the females at this point. Who is this guy? Who is this guy you're imagining laying up beside you? Do you know him? Do you know his past? Do you know his family structure? Do you know any of this about him? Do you know his last name? No. So you have to actually start understanding these concepts. You have to actually start understanding that this is very important to young females growing up. You have to know who and what you want. The fifth reason is you're growing up. More than likely you've been raised in a codependent dynamic, in a home where codependency is the norm, where all of your, maybe the females in your family showed you how to live codependently with a man, how to settle, how to have, just take what you could get out of it and, be fine. You're still alive. You're young. Your whole life ahead of you. By the time as you're done with a codependent relationship, sis, you're not going to be young no more. Codependency zaps and sucks the life, the youth, the vitality, the energy, the motivation, the encouragement, the happiness out of you. And so this is why we do not want to stare down this path, the path of codependency. So codependency, in my opinion, is very much like an addiction. It is, like I said, you are in love with the idea of a person or what a person is supposed to be in your mind, not the actual situation itself. So like an addiction, your emotional self, you become trained to actually needing to feed off of this energy, off of this other person, off of your partner. And the partner does the same off of you. It's like two vampires. Like, vampires don't suck blood from one another. This is why this is a toxic relationship, because you're feeding off of each other. You're not coming in with your own initiative, your own source of energy toward the relationship and enthusiasm toward the relationship. It's all about the other person, what they're doing, what they're not doing. How could they do this? I need this. I need that. I need you to do this. I did this for you last week. What did you do for me? I need you to do this. 3 more things. You're counting. Like somebody said in another video, you can't count what you've done for somebody. And a codependent relationship, this is exactly what it is, what it does. So in order to start breaking the chain of codependency, it's very important to start fixing it in your mind. Start with your emotional state, for goodness sake. Thoughts are things. And so when you change your thoughts, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. When you change the way your thoughts are flowing, that you change the way your emotions connect to this relationship. The way your emotional state improves, okay? So it's going to take a little hard work, but it can be done. It's very important. And once you decide to do something, there's nothing that can stop you. For starters, you need to stop allowing yourself to focus so much and so intensely and intently on the other person. Stop that. Stop that. What are you bringing to the table? Okay? Meaning, how is it going on in your consciousness? What's happening in there? Okay? Learn to trust and rely upon yourself for a change. Stop relying on other people, This is where it starts. Start planning for your own future. Start understanding that this is about your life. Okay, so stop sitting around and waiting for, approval from the other person. Stop sitting around and waiting for permission from the other person. Stop sitting around and waiting for guidance from the other person, acceptance from the other person, allowance from the other person. An allowance from the other person. Get out and get yours, is what I'm trying to say. Go out and start living your best life. So for instance, start by writing down goals for yourself. Mini goals, medium goals, larger goals. Strive to achieve them day by day. Do something different that's going to help you get closer to each one of those goals on a daily basis. You know what I mean? If you're going to sign up for the gym, start some beauty regimen or something that's going to help you feel better about yourself. It's going to foster good self-esteem in you. It's going to allow your world to become more about your world, not about your partner's world, okay? So much. So instead of sitting down and watching reality TV and comparing the girls on, Love and Hip Hop to your relationship, for goodness sake, get up, get out, go soak your feet or something in Epsom salt. Go do something for yourself. Call up an old friend. Do something. Call up an old family member. Do something. Write a letter to your younger self, telling yourself what you want, reminding yourself of what you want, instead of, worrying about what the other party's doing. Next, of course, you guys, I had to make notes on this because there are so many points I want to just drop in here. I have always kept a journal. This is something that I've always done, and it started so naturally for me, but now it's like I need to do it. I need to keep track of my thoughts and my moods and things that happen, synchronicities, all of these things from when I was a child. But the practice works wonders to record your feelings at any given time, to sit down when you're in the quiet comfort of your own space, sacred space, whatever that solitude is, and ponder how and why you're in a codependent relationship. How did you get in it to begin with? Why are you still in it? Okay, sit down and write this out. Let associated writing, have you heard about that technique? It's where you just write until the thoughts just freely start coming out. It's like your hand is like writing by magic. Start writing out these things, okay? What actions can you take to start to take each day to freedom, to start freeing yourself from this dynamic of codependency? Okay, it's important for you to also remember taking good care of yourself is very important. It starts within your mind, people. It starts with your mind. You have to go within. You need to look good as well, of course. You need that's going to help boost your confidence like that. All right? You need to remember who you are. So go within yourself. Quiet your mind. Stop focusing on everything else. It's time for you to be a little selfish. Your entire relationship is going to change when you start doing these things. I promise you, trust me, your relationship will change once you start doing these things. Either your partner is going to see this and appreciate you even more and say, wow, like I love, you're changing, you're becoming so much better. This is, great. And it's going to inspire him to do the same thing and stop worrying about you so much. Or if you're in a real relationship that needs to end, that needs to be tossed in the trash, he's going to say, you know what? Who do you think you are? Like now you're becoming all this, acting all new and stuff. Like, and he's going to walk. Say bye. Bye-bye. Because that's what you wanted. That's what you deserve. Okay? Freedom of self. You have free will. Use it. Own it. Okay? So, being the master of your own fate, keep this in mind. Thanks for watching this video. Do remember to leave your comments below. Subscribe. Do all of that good stuff that you're supposed to. And Spirit Fam, we're going to catch up in the next video. Before I go, look out for new merch. Esoteric Empress merch is coming out. Okay? I'm going to put the link below in the description. And be sure to check out some of the great products to start with, and then we're going to be adding, moving forward, we're just going to be adding all kinds of new stuff, you guys. I'm so excited. Anyways, till I come back with another great video, I'm going to say peace and love, blessed be, and namaste. Bye.